So to be honest, there is nothing to solve. Your objective question for chemistry, as usual, 45 minutes for these highest or 30-minute thereabouts. I'm not going to explain myself too much. So you can watch all the concept video. This is just a correction style for accuracy. Because it's normal you make mistake, but you are here to just learn, because sometimes or next time you come across such question, you try to avoid such mistakes. So let's start with the solution to 2022, excuse me, Waec objective chemistry question. I'm engineering. If you find anything interesting on this channel, consider subscribing to the channel. The first question: the product or the byproduct of fermentation of sugar. Everybody knows fermentation process of sugar, and it's definitely going to give you ethanol and carbon dioxide. So I don't think you guys should miss this. This is a direct question. If you have studied the topic of fermentation, you should be able to answer that. The next one also fall on the same thing, still on sugar and fermentation stuff, or carbohydrates. Which of the following sugar is a product of condensation of monosaccharides? You can say condensation of monosaccharides. So when you say condensation, that is you are adding two or more monosaccharides. It's either you have disaccharide or polysaccharide. In fact, in biology, you also have what is called trisaccharides, also in chemistry, which we can also explain. But like I said, this video is basically not for purpose. It is only serving the purpose of solution. So I don't think there is a need for anything. Don't worry, we can continue like this. So the next answer will be this. Should be galactose is a monosaccharide. Maltose is a monosaccharide. Maltose is a disaccharide. Glucose is a monosaccharide, and fructose is a monosaccharide. So like I said, so condensation of two monosaccharides should be maltose. So this is maltose. That's the answer to this one. I will off my camera now. I think there is no lag, so that we can move on. What's the meaning of all this? Let's move on with the stuff. Sorry about it, I just have to. So the third question. So we have the cleansing effect of soap is low in acidic water because that we know soap and the reaction of soap. Basically, everybody know when we talk about making of soap, we use what we call hydrolysis of fat and oil. We might have studied that on the topic of saponification. So it is hydrolysis of fat and oil that yield production of soap and glycerol. I think this stuff is lagging a little bit. Soap and glycerol, I think it's back. So basically, like I said, glycerol. I'm not here to explain too much of it. So this soap can be, they are classified into two types, soapy and soapless. So basically, fatty acid, hydrolysis of fat and oil. So fatty acid, when there is too much of, we say we have a soapy detergent and soapless detergent, or soapy soap and soapless soap. So when you talk about soapy soap and soapless soap, the major thing you need to understand is that when you mix them with water, they definitely have what we call hardness of water in junior classes. But when we talk about cleansing effect, why one is more soapy than the other, the major reason is because of what? It is fat and oil that is hydrolyzed. Very technical question. And when fat and oil is hydrolyzed, it gives soap. So hydrogen ion that is present in it is not dissolved. And that is why what? Soapless detergents don't lather. Please note that. So it's a simple question with technicality. So you just need to be careful about that. Let's change to a red. So what I'm trying to say now, let's read the increase in pH is wrong. Antibiotic, this is rubbish. The formation of you can say undissolved fatty acid. Now be careful about this. The hardness of acidic water, yes, because there is presence of acidic water. That is why it doesn't soap, or it is not soapy. Okay, I hope you understand. But it is majorly because hydrogen ions is not completely ionized, and rather now from what kind of what soapless form. So layers of soapless acid on top of what soapless acid is formed because of undissolved hydrogen ions. So the next one, I'm wasting time. I don't want to waste your time. The following compounds, I believe I'll finish in 45 minutes. That's very sure. The following compounds are condensation polymer, except we talk about starch, sugar. You can see most of your questions from 1 to 4 so far are still on the organic aspect. So directly we can say nylon. Everybody know nylon 66 is condensation polymerization. Protein, basically. Starch. Yeah, I talked about that. Starch is a polysaccharide. So condensation of two or more carbohydrates, monosaccharides. We give you a poly and a di. So starch is not an example of, because I know many of you actually go for this. It's example of what? It's a condensation reaction. We've talked about it. Condensation reverses hydrolysis. You have studied that under the topic of carbohydrate. So polythene is just a direct addition polymer. This is a very simple question. Polythene is addition because it is forming one product. You know that. So polythene bag is what? Polymerization of ethene. We give you what? Polythene. So that's the right answer to that. So please, you can make mistake, but you just need to be careful not to make silly ones. What amount of electricity is required to deposit 1 mole of aluminum from the solution of aluminum chloride? We all know that. Everybody knows it's going to be 3 farad because Al is written as Al3 plus and Cl minus. The number of charge is the number of farads. So that is why this will be correct. No time, this is chemistry, and it is very easy to know the right answer. This is another simple question. Which of the following compound will react rapidly with bromine? The word rapidly means it will react fast. Benzene. Benzene reacts with bromine, yes. Benzene do not react with bromine. Let me put it well. It only reacts with bromine in the presence of maybe aluminum chloride or iron chloride. Yes. So it is not a rapid reaction. It requires what? A catalyst. So do you understand? So catalyst is required. So you should be careful about this answer. So hexane. Hexane is a substitution, is an example of saturated hydrocarbon. Because it's saturated, no vacant electrons. That is what. That is why when you react halogens with alkane from junior classes, you were told it is what? A substitution reaction, because they don't react. So benzene don't readily react with bromine because of the delocalized electron in benzene. And that's another reason. But basically for your level, you can just say because it requires what? A catalyst. So rapidly means it will react on it. The answer to this is hexane. Hexane will react. You know, hexane is unsaturated because there are what? Spaces for what? For the bromine to get attached to it, and you call that type of reaction addition reaction. So be careful about that. And that is the correct answer. The next one, please let me increase my page. I have to increase. Alkanols can be manufactured from alkanes by initial reaction of alkanes with H2XO4. Direct solution, direct answer. I don't think any one of us, most of my students should not miss this. And for those that are learning, that is the direct method we use to prepare alkanes. There are other methods. You can dehydrate and so on and so forth. The next one is which of the following statements about the standard hydrogen electrode is not correct? Is not correct. You can see this is a question that I can see my student asking me that they pick a wrong answer. I don't know. Standard hydrogen electrode, I've taken the topic under next question for the 12th student. It's denoted as she. Standard hydrogen electrode. We say it is defined as the amount of what? The amount of solution that contain 1 mole per dm cube of hydrogen ion that is inside a platinized platinum electrode at 1 atmospheric pressure and at what? At room temperature. That is the definition. This is the first topic you learn before you go into readers. Yes, it is just the aspect that leads to your level of understanding electromotive force, the voltage potential difference, and the current that flow through two cells that is connected by a short bridge. I hope you have studied this, and if not, focus on the channel. You can check the chemistry channel. You will be what you are going to see some explanation more on this. So from definition, a standard hydrogen electrode is a solution that contains concentration of 1 mole per dm cube, 1 atmospheric pressure, and at what? Standard temperature. We said at 298 Kelvin. That is the way we define it in your comprehensive textbook. I think this could also have that. So the one that is not correct, hydrogen gas or whatever at 1, it's correct. Solution containing 1 mole per dm of hydrogen, and what? Platinum, we can say the platinized platinum electrode is used. So this is incorrect because 20 degrees Celsius is not equivalent to, this is 25 degrees Celsius. When you convert 25 degrees Celsius, so I'm wasting time. I'm sorry, apologies. I have to increase it. Next one, shorty concept, shortcut to get answer. 60 gram of M combines with 24 gram of O. What will be the empirical formula of the oxide? MO. So you just need to do 60 divided. I hope students still remember molar mass of M is 320. Then you say 24 divided by molar mass of this guy is 16. 1 over 2 is 4.5. 8 3 over 2 is 1.5. So this is M. Remember, this is O. I have started by writing M here and O. I'm following the knowledge of empirical formula, which I believe you all have learned in your junior classes. So divide by the lowest number, divide by this is M. So 1.5 divided by half is 3. So when you divide this one, it will be 1. And this guy will be 3. So we are looking for something that has 3. MO3 should be your right answer to this. I think that is cheap for every one of us. The next is the product of electrolysis of dilute sodium hydroxide using carbon electrode, platinum electrode, all inert electrode. They do not take part in reaction. But because this is dilute, excuse me, from your knowledge of electrolysis, you know what it means. Dilution, we have the concentration. And because of that, you have to be careful. Oxygen is produced at the anode and hydrogen at the cathode. So be careful, it is not D but what, but B, because you can make mistake here. I know you guys can do that. And if you cannot do that, it's a simple process. Na is Na plus, then Cl minus. The way we do this, water we ionize as well. Apologies, I'm rushing OH minus. So cathode, anode, OH minus, not plus. So here, the reason why we said at this proper hydrogen is discharged, because it's dilute solution and hydrogen is below as well. Then the concentration here is what makes this guy discharge independent. If the concentration is concentrated, then you expect this guy to discharge. So guys, that's the answer. This is cations migrate to the cathode for reduction, anions migrate to the anode for oxidation. That is per Hoc NCR. They say oxidation is loss and the reduction is gain stuff. So the only technicality there is to not to go and put B to D and D to B. So I hope you don't make that silly mistake. So the next one should be determine the quantity of electricity used when a current of 0.2 ampere is passed through and electrolytic cell for 60 minutes. 60 minutes, just convert 60 minutes to seconds. That's 3600 seconds. I hope I am not too fast. If I'm too fast, follow the concept video. Watch them. They are going to be available very soon as a complete chemistry concept video by the grace of God. So Q is IT, just multiply the currents times 3600. So that's just what I would do if I were you. And I believe you all get this. The 0.20 is multiplying 3600. So without any, I think this is 720 coulombs should be the right answer actually. So that's that about that. So the next one, I think I can turn on my camera now because I have just change. The next one is a question on next page. And if you have question on next page, you can say yes. Waiting. Fine. So continuation, question number 12. Now I think the camera is back. Now oxochlorate 1 acid is used as a bleaching agent because of chlorine. Oxochlorate 1 acid is HOCl, chlorine and its compound, halogen and its compound. So the reason is because it's what it when you leave it or when it is left, this is not stable because it reacts with a lot of things in the atmosphere. So it give you HCl plus O2, you know what I mean? So for example, if HCl, if this guy is combined with oxygen, you expect something like this, or with water. So what's to give you something like, because water vapor is what is present in the atmosphere. But this is just a simple direct question. HOCl contains chlorine. Chlorine bleaches by what? By oxidizing, by what? By oxidation. So note that. So this is an oxidizing agent. Chlorine is an oxidizing agent, you know. So that is why this answer is correct. The next question is question which I believe you guys should be able to get. 13 says the IUPAC name for this stuff is that. So just focus on, in fact, sometimes I do test you and you may not even disturb yourself. Longest carbon chain is everything here is hexane, so I don't need to disturb myself. Then I need to just check alphabetically. Is it arranged alphabetically? So I can never pick D before C. So option A and B is out. I hope you understand those fast logic because we are in the 15th, 16th minutes now. So it's like we are taking 1 minute on a question. Well, so we have to be fast. So 2, 4, I can't take A and B. I hope you understand. I can't add methyl before chloro. So chloro should become. Then again, I can think about lowest sum rule. If I don't want to count, but let's count. If I count from the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see 5, 6. It should be farther apart. Wow, what's this? So now, but if I come from a 1, 2, you can see 3. I hope you can see that's 3 chloro. That's 3 chloro, 2, 4 dimethyl. So 2, 4, because 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3, 9. 9 is lower than 4 plus 3 plus 5. 8 plus 4 is 12. So lowest sum rule, this is very correct and not your C. I hope all students will get that right. The next one is a colorless gas with a pungent smell is evolved with dilute HCl. Is evolved when dilute HCl is added to the sample of its salt. The gas evolved could turn dash. Let's just write the chemistry of action of that. Pungent smell can be anything. Dilute HCl. So that means we are adding HCl. Wow, that cannot write well on it. HCl is added to let's say we have because I can predict the answer already, lead sulfide. So if lead sulfide is react is HCl, that is lead chloride. PbCl2, I'm not balancing, you can balance. It's true. This guy has a pungent smell. You know what I mean by pungent, irritating or smells like a rotten egg. So if this guy now, which is hydrogen sulfide, if the gas evolve could turn, we know the property of hydrogen sulfide. How do we test for that? We use lead ethanoate paper or silver nitrate, lead ethanoate paper, ethanoate paper. I'm teaching now, which I know I'm not supposed to do, or silver nitrate, so or lead nitrate, whatever. So lead silver nitrate, lead nitrate, PbNO3 or twice. So what this H2O does to this is what I'll use a black now because it's black means it. So that's just the concept there. So and that is why I am going to go for this answer, PbNO3, and the paper turn black. But not that. The next one is 5G of marble react 5 gram, G means gram, with 25 cm cube hydrochloric acid. Which of the following combination has the fastest reaction rate? Concept of rate of reaction, the higher the concentration, the higher the rate of chemical reaction. I hope students note that. So it cannot be marble, it should be what? Concentration and surface area. The higher the surface area, the higher the rate of chemical reaction. So all this is what you need to keep in mind. So now it must be powdered. I'm going for C because the concentration of this guy is greater than the concentration of this guy. You understand? As 2.5 is greater than 2.0. I hope students understand that. So the next one is increasing the temperature generally. Then what happens? Decreases the solubility of solid in the liquid. Then no. Increase in temperature makes an increase in what? Solubility of a solid substance. It only decreases the solubility of a gas. Under the topic of solubility, this must be touched by a teacher. So let's look for what looks like what I said. Increase the solubility of solid in liquid, but decrease the solubility of gas. Yes, absolutely. That is the answer to that. The next one, a white precipitate was formed when barium chloride was added. This is a pointer. The moment you hear barium chloride, you think about confirmatory test. You can use barium chloride to test for two things, tetraisosulfate ion and triisosulfate ion. In fact, you can use it to test for thiosulfate, S2O3, but I am not going into that. But basically, we use this. But that is why when we want to use SO42 minor to test for SO42 minus, we always acidify this barium chloride. Acidify. Why am I teaching? So I said I want to provide solution. I'm teaching. It's a video fast solution. Acidify. So we can acidify it with either HCl or you can't use H2SO4 because you're actually testing for this guy. So if you want to test for SO42 minus, basically you have to acidify it. So in this case, you can see barium chloride was added to an aqueous solution of X. X is either this guy or this guy. So now, the precipitate was added to okay, the precipitate dissolved in diluted. If it's dissolved, it is this guy. because that is the essence. So if it is dissolving in HCl, acidified substance, it is SO32 minus. If it doesn't dissolve, because SO32 minus can still react with HCl. You know that. So be careful. I know most of you pick A, which is very wrong. So this is the answer to the question, and that is that about chemistry. I told you chemistry is always simple. The next question, I don't know the number, is before a reaction could take place, there should be what? Yeah, you've learned that in your, I think, SX2, year 11. You were told that before reaction takes place, particle must collide. Collision theory stuff. So, and bond must be broken. So that's just a breakage of bond must occur because collision must occur. So next one, chemistry. You can see chemistry is simple if you know it. The next is consider the following reaction equation of calcium oxide with silica gel to give you also calcium triazo what? Trioxosilicate 4. That is a slag. This thing is called slag in the what? Extraction of iron in the blast furnace. So this reaction is a kind of reaction we call neutralization reaction. So there are some neutralization reaction that is funny because this is taken as a base and this is taken as what? An acid. And the excess of SiO2 in this reaction, it is what? It is what? It's an acid and it's an acid. This is a base. This is a base. So this act like an acid. So that is why the reaction is called neutralization reaction. So silicon 4 oxide or silica gel, or whatever you call it, is what is an acid or acidic oxide. So that's that about that. The next one is question 20. Question 20 asks us, apologies, I want to take something. Question 20 says, which of the following acid would form normal salt only? I think this is also a question on basicity of salt. Everybody know. Normal salts are formed by what? Salt that has that is monobasic or monoprotic, anyhow you call it. For your level, I think it's called monobasic. Number of replaceable hydrogen ions. So that is the one that form normal salt only. So out of all the options, you just look for a monobasic, the one that has it what basicity as 1. H2SO4 is basicity is 2. H2SO4. That is 2H plus. Has basicity of 2. Everybody know. HNO3 should be the answer because it has basicity of 1. Number of replaceable hydrogen ion. So this is the answer. Tetra or whatever, all these ones are not 1. So that's the answer. I hope you get that. 21 says, what is the partial pressure of oxygen at STP in a gaseous mixture containing 100 centimeter cube of oxygen and 900? The total mixture is 100 of this. So let's just do that. Partial pressure, total pressure, pressure of A, B, Dalton law of partial pressure. I'm not stating concept now. You can check that on my physics channel and stuff like that. So, but basically, we are looking for the amount of what partial pressure of oxygen. This is the amount of volume of oxygen. So out of the total is 900 plus 100, 1000. So 100 over 1000. I hope you get my language. That is 0.1 atmosphere. Nothing to solve. Next one. Graphite is used as a dry lubricant. Be careful about this because sometimes teachers can also make mistake when picking answer onto this. Dry lubricant. Yeah, we use graphite as dry lubricant because graphite conduct electricity. They are non-metal and they are one of not so many non-metal that conduct electricity. So because of their carbon layer, because of the presence of free electrons in graphite substance. Now, they are used as lubricants. I hope you know the meaning of lubrication. Yeah, oil, something like that to lubricate, to make something, to make ease of access to nuts and stuff like that. As dry lubricant because of their layered structure. You know, the layer of what? The layer of graphite are said to be arranged hexagonally. You should know that. It's popular. So they are arranged hexagonally, and because of that, we use them as what? You understand? As dry lubricant. A direct question. So that is also correct. D is correct for this. Please note that. The next one is, which of the following gas is an alkaline? Alkaline. Soluble base is alkaline. Ammonia. Everybody knows. Next one. Or do I need to talk? No. Thank you. Which of the following statements about an equilibrium system is correct? Equilibrium. You know that. Forward reaction, backward reaction, they balance out. Exactly. Law of mass action. I'm not going into otherwise. Now, forward and backward reaction occur at the same rate. I think I don't need to read anything. Well, I don't need to read anything. The concentration of reactant must be equal to concentration of product. The concentration of reactant for oh my god, rate of no, this is wrong. The concentration of reactant must be equal to that of the product. That is it, because rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. Let's see, we can explain that A plus B is equals to reversible reaction C plus D. According to law of mass action, the rate of forward reaction must be equal to rate of backward. I am very correct. Option A is what? Absolutely correct. So please, this is D, this is C, and this is D. This is A. For those of you following, this is B, and so on and so forth. So I move to the next question. So next one, 25, halfway. Consider the following reaction equation. This combined with this, I only need, because the reversible reaction, I only need to focus on the heat loss. Heat loss here is exothermic reaction. And I have studied, and you have studied too. And when heat is given out to the surrounding, the system adjusts itself to favor what? If you increase the temperature, the system will try, because more heat is given out to the surrounding, it will favor the backward reaction. So the only way I can favor forward reaction is to decrease the temperature. So now, the question says increase in temperature of this is dash. So I just said that when you increase temperature, you expect the backward reaction to be favored. So when backward reaction is favored, the equilibrium shift to the right is wrong. Increase yield of ammonia is wrong. Decrease the amount of hydrogen is wrong, because it's favor backward. Hydrogen is at the backward. So the answer to this is decrease the amount of ammonia, because it decrease this and favor the backward. Ammonia is at the forward. Next one. When air in syringe is compressed such that there is no change in temperature, the dash, that is a simple question on liquefaction of air. Now, when air is compressed, basically we know, and you try to make the temperature constant, that means there is no heat loss. Adiabatic process. Understand? I'm not taking physics now. We are in our chemistry. So when that occurs, there is no it is not what? It is not lost to the surrounding. Basically, you should know, if you are compressing something, you are compressing air inside the cylinder, wherever you put it, normal. If you compress air, you are doing work on that particular material. That you are doing work, as in work. A lot of work is being work. Like now, I am compressing this thing, and this is my writing pen. I'm compressing it. As I'm compressing this thing, work is being done. Temperature will be lost. So if temperature is being what? More heat is being released. And if heat is now what? The heat that is being released is now being absorbed. That is, we are trying to balance out the amount of heat. That is why we said heat is not lost when temperature is constant. Because normally, if you are doing work on something, that thing will be releasing heat. It's just like I'm doing work now. You can see the other time I took Sprite or whatever, because I'm doing work, I'm tired. Heat will be released from my body. Do you understand? So, but when you try not to make the heat to what? To be released, that means you are trying to take away the heat that is being released. That means the quantity of heat is the same. And that is why he said there is a change in state. The air we form what? We turn back to what? Liquid. And that is why we are making air what? Liquefy. So that's just that. Some things are just questions of plain and understanding. Which of the following statements about liquids is or are true? I don't have time. I just do this directly. Liquid have a fixed state. No, no, no. Changes in pressure affect the volume of liquid. Yes, 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 yes. Liquids maintain their volume at constant temperature. Yes, they can. We just talked about that. They can maintain their volume at constant temperature. Yes, 1 is correct. 4 is also correct. Change in pressure affect the volume of both liquid and gas. Please note that. Change in volume affect that. So I'm looking for something that has 1 and 4. That's correct. The next one. Hydrogen chloride gas reacts with oxygen to yield water and chlorine. Write the equation and balance. The mole ratio of hydrogen chloride, just write HCl plus, what does it react with? Oxygen to yield water and CO2. If you balance well, this guy should be 3, I guess, or 4. This guy is 4, and this guy is 2. And the equation is balanced. So that's 4:1. So note that. The next one. What number of mole of oxygen would exert a pressure of 10 atm at 320 Kelvin in 8.2? PV is nRT. Don't disturb yourself. So PV is nRT. You all know that. Heidegger's law, whatever you call it. That's PV over RT. Substitute the values. Pressure is 10 atmosphere. 320 is 0. It's given 0.82. temperature is, volume is 8.2. This guy is 0.082 times 320. So this is saying 82 over 320 multiplied by 0.282. Then if you do that well, this should be 3.125. Direct calculator answer 3.125. So which is 3.13 approximately. So that's that. Let me take. The next question is 30. Number 30 says if 50 centimeter cube of a saturated solution of potassium nitrate at 40 degrees Celsius contain 5.005 grams of the salt, its solubility at that temperature would be that. Solubility, I think we did this in the prep class as well. Mass over molar mass. The mass is 5.05. Molar mass of KNO3 should be 101. It's given inside the bracket. So multiply by 1000 over volume was also given over 50. 50 here 1, 50 is here at 20. So you can do this, and I think this is 1. How do I know it's 1? This is year 1. This is year 20. Year 1, year 20. So because I'm a math teacher, 1.0 moles per dm. So that is that. So the next one is which of the following element would displace copper from its copper ion? To displace copper from copper ion must be element that is above copper in the electrochemical series. I think this is direct. So silver is not above, gold is not above, mercury is not above. It is lead that is above. So that's that. The next one, excuse me guys, is what is the percentage composition of carbon in calcium hydrogen triisocarbonate, or CaHCO3 or twice? Let me call it the way we are supposed to call it. So here we say we are looking for carbon. Let me just get the molar mass of these guys. Let me do the one in bracket. I'll do it. You just listen to my voice. 1 plus 12 are 13. I'm doing the one inside bracket. 13 plus 3 times 16 are 48. 13 plus 48 is 61. 61 times 2 is 122. 122 plus 40 is 162. Everybody knows now this guy is 162. So I'm looking for carbon. 12 over 162. How many carbon is there? It's not 12 but 24. 24 how? C2 times 100. So don't make mistake. So anybody can make mistake in all these things. 2400 divided by 162 is what? 2400 divided by 162 is what I need. So I can use my applied knowledge to get there. I think it's 3.7 a bit 7.4. So let me get, I think I should have a calculator here. I have my calculator. That is 14.8. So I think that is B. 14.8. So that's the answer. The next one is which of the following bond types is intermolecular? Intermolecular forces that are covalent bonds. Covalent bond between two molecules. Covalent bond. I think that one should not be a problem for anybody. The next is 34. 34 to 50. The maximum numbers of covalent bond in nitrogen. Nitrogen forms 3 covalent bonds. All these we've done under chemical bonding. The next one is the IUPAC name of the compound here is that you can never pick, when you see one, you can never pick 2. That's one thing about priority order. Functional group is greater than methyl, alkyl, and all those stuff. I've done all these on my chemistry page. That's why I'm just picking answer. And these are most times. So I can't pick anything that has 2. That one is sure. So the answer should be this. And now you can draw it as if you are the type that don't know this topic very well. So let me just use this small space to draw it. See, the first guy is CH3. 1, 2, 3. That's your H. Then CH. Then CH is up. Then the CH3 is down. That's the second one. The third one is CH. And see the H is up. Let me just step you out. All these guys are H's. Apologies. So they are H's. I'm drawing what is there. For those of you who cannot actually predict it from there. Then CH2. You can see for this to be CH2. That means this guy must be double bond because carbon must always be 4. You know what I mean? Yes, you know it. Then HCH2. You understand? That's CH3. Hope you get what I did. The last C is CH. Then this guy is CH2. Let me just cancel 1 because it's more than 4 now. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So they didn't help you put it there because, but when you draw, you will see. So it must be on the first. You start from priority order. You start from this guy. Oh wow! So you start from this guy. So one, you can see 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 metal. Then on the first carbon, whatever. So it's a simple question you should get. The next one is ionization energy. I can increase this across the world screening effect. That is also direct. The next one, I've talked about them over and over again. That's why I'm not wasting time on that. Which of the following property indicate that element is a metal? React with oxygen to form acidic water. Metal don't form acidic water. They form basic water. So remove one. Anything that has one is a goner. Two, forms ionic chloride. Yes, they form. Has variable oxidation state. I will not pick that. It's only transition metals that go with that. Displaces hydrogen from hydrochloric acid. Most metal does that. So I can pick 2 and 4. Where's that? Option C. So next one, the electronic configuration of carbon atom in its excited state is dash. Carbon is number 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2ps1, and 2py1. You know that very well. So please note that I'm following the laws of Unsloo. You can watch concept video. The next is an oxide has the following property. It's dash. A white powder, pH with acid, pH with base, insoluble in water. Think about amphoteric oxide. Think about aluminum oxide. And this is amphoteric in nature. The next one, which of the following statements about atoms of metals is correct? Metal again. Wow. Rapidly accept electron. No, they give out electron. Metals are soft. Metals are not soft. Though we have metal that is soft, are held together by covalent bond. Most metals are not held together by covalent bond because they give electron. They are by what? Electrovalent. So definitely the last option will be your answer, even if you don't know the interpretation of the last option. They are held together by C of electron. But yes, that is why most metallic ion form metals with its atom. A metal combined with a metal will give you a metallic what? Metallic bond. I hope you have studied that too in your junior classes. 41. 41 says, which of the following sketches is a graphical representation of Boyle's law? Boyle's law said that pressure, whatever I said, he said volume is inverse proportional to set pressure. Volume pressure is inverse proportional to volume is inverse anyhow you hide it. So anyhow, so I'm plotting a graph of P. I want to write here. The volume of a given mass of gas is inversely proportional to its pressure, provided temperature remain constant. So inverse proportional. So that is why you have P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. You know what I mean? So temperature is constant. Temperature is constant at different temperatures. So now we just need to go with this. Now, if this is this, you can say V is equals to K over T. And so if you are plotting pressure against inverse of V, it will be a direct graph. That is mathematics. Volume is inverse proportional to pressure. So pressure is also inverse proportional to volume. So if you now say you are putting a graph of pressure against inverse of volume, it will no more be inversely related. It will now be a direct relationship. A little bit of your mathematics and physics. Let's say the atom with electronic configuration of this is in dash. Period 4, P block, period whatever. Now to know the block, look at the last member here, P. So it is in P block. So anything that is D here is out. So now about the period, there is logic. This guy should be in period 3, no, period 4. So how do I know? I can count 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 to know its atomic number. And you can now start distributing. But logically, this is 4, this is 2. The last member before it, I always add 1 to it. You can watch my periodicity or periodic table. Once upon a time, I have posted video on all those things. Those are the days of our first channel. For those of you who have actually stayed with us for a period of long time. The next one is electropositivity of elements across the periodic table. Normally that electronegativity increases across the period. So what happened to positivity? They remain constant. So they decrease, right? So you can get that. So just look for decreases across period, you pick the answer. The next one is consider the following table. I'm rushing because time is no more my side and I'm a little bit tired. Now consider the following table, excuse me. We have substances, melting point, and boiling point. Most of you, I know you are going to miss this because you don't have idea about or this tabular or whatever. The question says, which of the following substance is a liquid at room temperature and rapidly evaporate on air? So that means the one that changed from solid to liquid. That is what you are looking for, guys. So solid to liquid. So the correct answer should be at room temperature. It can never be this one. This is look at this one. So it can this is too high, this is too low. This two is possible for it to be liquid at room temperature. So it changes from solid to liquid. So the boiling point can be okay. This is B is correct. This one Q is the correct answer. Why am I going for Q? Look at this, guys. The melting point is -8. The boiling point is 40. So I'm looking for something that is what? Liquid at room temperature. So it changes from what? Solid to liquid. Because if it doesn't change from solid to liquid, it won't be able to change from what? To evaporate. So it must be from what? From a low melting point to a temperature that is not too high. And that is why I'm picking option B. Please note that. Which of the following oxide is amphoteric? Lead, aluminium, beryllium oxide, zinc oxide, and whatever oxide you can. Next one, which of the following processes occur during fractional? This is a bonus mark. Fractional distillation involves three processes: condensation. You first of all heat. When you heat the whatever to evaporate, then it condenses, vapor condenses in the Liebig condenser, blah 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 blah. So just look for evaporation and condensation. Then I am very much there, almost there. 47 says if the molar mass, they are giving me hand here to stop. If the molar mass of XHCO3 or twice is 162, we did something like this before. Does that mean there is molecular mass of X if everything is 162? We are now looking for S. S plus it's just funny. So this is X plus, we did this one in bracket the other time, it was 122. Remember? If you don't know that, you can just learn. 1 plus 12 plus 48 times 2. So it's equals to 162. What about this? 162 minus 122, 40. So that's the answer to that. The next says charcoal is used in the decolorization of sugar. Yes, animal charcoal is used, even wood charcoal is used in decolorization of sugar because it's that. Yeah, because it's absorb impurity at the upper surface. So that process is called, I've talked about nicotine adsorption, surface chemistry. So adsorption. Yeah, I will have screwed this. Adsorption, option D, adsorption. So please note that adsorption, surface chemistry. The next ones are the first definition of an element was given by Antonio Lavoisier. That is a direct question. I do say this in my offline video a lot, talking about name of scientists and stories. Look at it now. Number 50. Which of the following scientists formulated the law of conservation of man? That is Proust. That's the answer to that. So D, B. So that is all about this, guys. The right solution to your chemistry SSC, mid-June SSC 2022. So if you find it interesting, you can consider subscribing to the channel and tell your friend about it. What we do here is just to pick the right answer and just give you one or two fast reasons why we are picking it. It is not the comprehensive classroom. We do have comprehensive classroom videos and other things, which I think will be very good for you to be part of us and to be part of most of the academic team. So I will see you guys very soon by the grace of God. Don't forget, share the content, like, make comments. If you have any questions you don't understand or any reservation or contribution, you can always drop the comment. We see next time. Bye.